This is the funniest phone call of all time. I got the audio from a podcast of the Maxwell Show from July 23rd, Part 1. Before this phone call started, Maxwell, the guy who answers the call who just got past 1 year of sobriety after 15 years of heroin, was asking Stansbury, the other guy on the show who is a drug addict, if he was being negatively affected by his drug use, and Stansbury continued to say that everything is good even though it is obviously not.
Yeah, Maxwell Show, hi, who's this?
Hi, it's Chuck from Madison.
What's up, man?
Hey, I really like your guys' show. I've been listening for a long time. Maxwell, man, you got to get off it, man. You are a weak POS, okay? You got to quit imposing your problems on other people. There are millions of people in this country that get high once a week.
And you know what, dude? If I wasn't linked by the hip to them and my financial well-being wasn't directly linked to their hip, I wouldn't care. But you know what? I'm not going to come in here every day and do my best job while someone gets high and maybe negatively affects my family.
Yeah, but I'm
not going to do it, dude. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do that. I refuse to be a part of that.
No.
That's not fair.
You're ragging on Stansbury for what he does in his private time. You're constantly
because I think that at times it affects him on the job
on a daily basis. Who can control their urges?
What are you talking about? No, I don't.
Yeah, you do, man. You do that exactly. You're trying to impose. You're just like every addict that's ever recovered.
Really?
I can do it, so nobody else should do it.
That's not. I've never said that.
Yes, you have. Ask Stansbury.
That's not exactly what he says.
Constantly cracking on people for what they do because they can do it on a casual basis and go through with their lives on a normal basis.
When have I ever cracked on someone under those circumstances? When have I ever?
You want everybody to conform to your problem.
Man. And I'm here to tell you, man, back in the day to hate Ashbury, man, that's not the way we rolled, man.
No, man, come on.
Come on, man.
Okay?
What?
I know your shtick.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're playing. The fact is that you're just like every liberal in this country that wants to be politically correct, and just because one person has a problem, everybody...
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I'm a liberal, and I don't feel that way.
No, man. You do it all the time. You constantly push on people to conform to your weaknesses when it's not the way it works.
Give me an example.
Give you an example.
Yeah.
You're constantly cracking on Stansbury for the way he smokes dope. You're constantly cracking.
All right, okay, all right. I'm going to tell you something.
Which I've dramatically cut down, by the way.
I'm going to tell you something. I think someone that uses a drug daily has a drug problem, period. That's my opinion.
But there are people that use marijuana.
It's irrelevant, though. Yes, that's right. There are people who can function. There are people who can function as addicts. Yes,
who can go to people that use marijuana. There are people that use alcohol on a daily basis.
And I think it's right. And I think it's a problem.
No, that's where you're wrong.
I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Yeah, you're allowed to have your opinion, but why impose?
How am I imposing it? Am I going out and look, man? The only person who look, dude. I don't care what you do. You smoke your head off. You know why?
No, I don't smoke.
No, I'll tell you what, or whatever you do, because I'm not financially linked to you. I don't care what you do. But do I care what someone does? Look, dude, I have an incredibly bright career ahead of me, and so does Stansbury, and you're right.
You constantly making snide remarks about people that smoke, the people that drink. All of a sudden, everybody...
I don't.
But that's for entertainment value.
I never do. Hold on a minute. Do I ever...
Go to Rover's Street Fest...
You're right, because a guy like me there's no reason why I should be in a Mardi Gras situation.
Well, how do you know that?
Because I'm a recovering alcoholic and a drug addict, and I don't do that thing. I don't do that stuff anymore, and I don't want to be a part of it.
That's like taking the Gamblers Anonymous.
I don't care. I don't care if you go. Oh my God, this guy. I don't care if you go.
Nads at all. You would man up and get yourself in those situations and pull your gonads up to your throat and take care of it, and realize that not everybody in the world is as weak as you are.
Dude, I gotta tell you need to crack a book, brother.
I think
I've
that's
cracked
bad.
a lot of books. I got a lot of friends that are recovering alcoholics and drug addicts and everything else. And let me tell you something.
And do they hang out in...
one of them is the same way.
And do they hang out in bars?
Booze, they start smoking cigarettes pack after pack.
Okay.
If they quit booze or marijuana, they start substituting caffeine and coffee. They always get a cup of coffee in there.
All right.
There is no cure, man.
Right. Exactly why I shouldn't be. Which is exactly why I shouldn't be
a normal human being and quit ragging on everybody for what they.
I gotta tell you, do I make you feel? Do I make you feel, dude? Do I make you feel that bad about what you're doing?
No, I don't do anything. But the point is, why should I have to be so worried about what I do in public or what I do?
When have I ever expressed a worry about what you do?
Why should I have to worry about not smoking around people that...
Because I'm making the decision to not get cancer, and you don't have the right to infringe on my rights. Stay at home and smoke your head off, and you know what? I hope you get lung cancer, and I hope they take your cancerous lung out of your anus.
Everybody that ever did crack is a crack junkie. Everybody that ever drank is a booze junkie.
Well, let's be fair here. I've never seen anybody smoke a little crack.
A little bit and realize that a lot of people don't have your problem, and they don't have to be politically correct around you. Okay?
If I go out in the public, I have rights, and I shouldn't have to bring. And dude, all right, dude. Here's the deal.
To impose your problem on.
You don't have a right to impose, dude. You can't impose your cigarette problem on me by making me breathe your secondhand smoke because you decided it's okay to give yourself cancer.
If I smoke somewhere, I don't smoke.
So then, what's the problem?
The problem is that you keep cracking on people and trying to make everybody conform to make you comfortable in issues where you're not comfortable.
Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me an example.
Your booze problem, your drug problem.
Give me, no. Shut your face, and give me an example of when I actively do that.
Man.
Give me an example.
That isn't the norm.
Give me an example. Oh my God, this guy. This is.
Man, and you should not enforce your problems on other people.
When do I do that?
You do it all the time. You do it all the freaking time.
Give me an example.
An example, you're always cracking on Stansbury. I've listened to you guys for a long time. Stansbury says he don't even go, he goes 3-4 days. He's a casual pot smoker.
All right, well, I got to tell you what.
Because he smokes dope. You're always ragging on, now I'm not talking about your financial well-being here. I'm talking about you trying to impose your values.
The only reason that I care, oh my God,
you have a weakness.
That's not why I care. I don't care.
Should be able to do
That's not true. You're a jackass. That is not true. If Dan didn't work on this show, shut your stupid mouth and listen to me.
You come off on the radio.
Shut your stupid mouth and listen to me. Oh my God. Shut your stupid mouth. Shut your stupid mouth for 1 second.
That way, man.
Shut your stupid mouth.
No. You come off that way. You do.
If I didn't
people that believe the same way I do, that you're trying to impose your problems and everything else on other people.
Why is that?
Work. You know, it's your shtick.
Because I have an opinion?
No,
because I have
your shtick, man, and it works on the radio fine as far as the ratings go. But the fact is...
So I'm not allowed to have an opinion?
No. I don't think that you have as near as big a problem as you let be on the radio. I think you're using it as a shtick.
Well, I got to tell you what. You know what? I got to tell you what. Why don't you call my wife and ask her how many times? Why don't you call my wife and ask her how many times she checked to make sure I was breathing every night, you son of a bitch?
No, don't call me a son of a bitch.
You're an idiot, dude. You're an idiot. You're a jackass and an idiot.
My IQ. The fact is, you come off on the radio as being totally domineering, a control freak, and you're trying to make everybody
I'll give you the fact that I'm a control freak, yes.
Yeah, well, you have a nice evening. Bye.
Wow, we went through all that to get to that? Really? Wow. So we're going to get counseling, obviously,
yeah.
Right?
And that was a call from Dennis Hopper in Flashback. Thank you for calling, Dennis.
Spokesperson for normal, right there.
Man.
Wow.
I want to hunt that guy down and punch him in the throat.
You like that form of violence. You like punching people in the throat. You're big into that.
I've never punched anyone in the throat, but it sounds
or
good.
anyone, period.
It sounds good.
I like jumping on windpipes. That's
kind of the same thing.
That's the one I like.
Video respond if you have something funnier. Podcast the show at MaxwellShow.com. IAC provided a link in the description to go right to the podcast section of the website, and remember people, don't do drugs.